What's up, guys? This is About Display Fitness, and I wanted to have a little bit of a conversation. Something I think is kind of important in your approach toward training. So what I'm going to do is just kind of throw in the background some footage from bench because I feel like it adds kind of to what I'm talking about. And so really the conversation I want to have is about making the uncommon common. And so you see a lot of people, they get intimidated by a weight, right? And it happens, I think it happens to everybody. It happens to me, where there's a barrier in your mind, and you start to act kind of timid about weight after that barrier. And with a lot of people, it tends to kind of equate to plate jumps, right? So maybe you're getting up to, benching 2 plates for the first time, or you're around that 2 plate mark, maybe a little bit over. But as soon as you start getting that 2 plates on, all of a sudden, like in your mind, it's almost like this mental restriction, or this kind of governor, right? That almost like forces you to dial back and not maybe not be as aggressive as you could or should be. And so for me, really for me, that's 4 plates, right? So you can kind of see in the background, me working up to and messing around with 4 plates. And one of the things that I'm trying to do in my training right now is getting used to being a little bit more uncomfortable. There's that mental restriction in my mind where once I start getting up over 4 plates rather, that I start acting a little bit more timid. And so recently I've been doing stuff where I'm doing 5x5 with 405, and so I'm trying to coach myself and get myself used to the fact that 405 really, it's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing to be intimidated by. It's nothing to it's like another day at the gym, right? Not that I don't respect the weight. I'm not saying don't respect the weight and don't treat what you're doing with absolute respect, because you can get hurt with any amount of weight. If you're a 600-pound bencher, I mean, you can get hurt with 135. So I'm not saying don't treat the weight with respect, but what I am saying is don't allow yourself to be kind of intimidated by those numbers. And so sometimes what it takes is putting yourself into that discomfort, pushing yourself into an area where you get used to being uncomfortable, and then it becomes normal. So for the last little while in my training schedule, I've mostly been messing with 405 or a little bit north of 405, and ultimately what I'm trying to do is kind of condition myself to not have a kind of an emotional response to the fact that there's 4 plates on the bar. Just trying to get used to feeling like it's no big deal. And so then as I can do that, then I can start to add weight on, and it's just no big deal, right? Like, I did this last week. And so I think that's one thing for maybe for you guys that are out there, whether you're trying to be top level international elite powerlifters, or you're just trying to break your own gym PR, or you're trying to outdo yourself, whatever level of competition that you're on, at the very least we're always trying to be better than what we were before, right? So I think one of the ways that you can help yourself break through plateaus is take yourself up to that weight that gets you uncomfortable, get a good spot that you trust, and just start doing reps. Maybe you find that this weight that you had some reverence for, you're actually able to hit 10 plus times, and that should be a sign to yourself, like, okay, I can move up the bar again, right? Recently I went and trained, and I hit 405 for 10 reps, which is the first time that I've ever even tried that. I've never tried to hit 405 for, I think, anything more than 5 reps. But it's, I think, the working sets that you guys have kind of seen in the background that laid the foundation for me to feel like it was appropriate for me to take an attempt at 10 reps of 405. So sometimes you just got to push yourself out your comfort zone. I think that's really what I'm trying to say, is don't allow some figure or some benchmark in your head to dominate your psyche, and not allow yourself to progress beyond that. once you hit that benchmark, that 2 plates, that 3 plates, that 4 plates, you just keep rolling. And I think that's a good way to kind of push through sticking points. Because sometimes I think those sticking points are on our own minds, is really all I'm trying to say. Anyway, guys, I think that's all I have to say for this one. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave in the chat box below. I'll be sure to respond. I appreciate you guys helping me out with likes, shares, and subscribes. Had a lot of growth on the channel very recently, and I'm very appreciative of every one of you. If you're new to the channel, drop a comment, just say hi. I'll say hi back. And you know, if you haven't subbed up on this on the channel, you've checked out a video or 3, it's probably time to join the channel, guys. That's it. No matter what it is you think you can't do, right? Like break through that plateau, or you know, overcome the 3-wheel phobia, or whatever it is, whatever that mark is for you personally, on any lift, squat, bench, dead. You got to get in and train to spite, guys. You're either going to find an excuse, or you're going to find a way, and hope that you continue to find the way. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
To change